Disclaimer, this video is inspired by this other video on YouTube about fixing FNAF Funko plushies. I really enjoyed watching it, so I thought I'd do a similar thing with my favorite thing ever, the Panda Ghost, and their plushies. So please don't start attacking me because of similarities between this video and that one. Thank you! Heidi ho, the name's Metallics, and well, ghost plushies. You either love them, or well, you don't. There's not much of an in-between with these. They're horridly ugly, which I guess is kind of the appeal, when you love them, and when you don't love them is the sole reason why you don't love them. Considering these are official plushies, I don't know what happened, but this is what we got, so we gotta make deal with it. The story of how the first ghost plushie came to be, that being Carnalcopia during the Prequel era, is actually quite funny. So the merchandise managing team asks Tobias, "Do you want to do a plushie?" And he's like, "Sure, what is it? What's a plushie?" And they explain what it is, like it's stuffed animal toy. And he goes, "Yeah, sure," because, you know, since Tobias has kids, he recognizes what a plushie is. And then eventually, after designing and all that, the plushie is released into the world, and to quote Tobias, "What the flying fuck is that?" Quite direct, don't you think? In any case, the plushies do look the way they do. So my main sort of premise here is to try and keep the sort of approach they were going for, with it being plushies of a middle-aged man essentially, and try to make them more like, well, plushies. Look more appealing, maybe somewhat cuter, and fix all of the inaccuracies that make me want to scream. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. A quick side note though is, I'm only going to be doing Carnalcopia, Papa 4, and Papa 1, as those are the only 3 I own. If in the future this video either gets really, really popular, and or I buy more of them, then I will make more of this. But for now, we are doing those 3. So, let's begin! Alright, well, first order of business is Carnalcopia, who, oh my god, is horrible. But this is also the most important one I have to do, because whatever I do for him will set the precedent and basis for the rest, since the rest of the plushies are also based on that first Carnalcopia one. My first gripe with it was the proportions. For a standing plush, the head is huge for absolutely no good reason. The only things I actually quite like about the plush are, well, how they did his Beretta, and the necklace accessory, which every single plush has some sort of accessory, and, well, yeah. The first thing I did was make his eyes correctly colored. So, his right eye is green, and his left eye is white. From there, what is that supposed to be? Is that a mouth? Is that his mustache? I don't know. So, let's make a clear distinction from mouth to mustache and include both. Because on the original, it's either shaved copia or mouthless copia, and I don't know which one would be scarier. From there, we look at the outfit, which from afar is fine and accurate enough, but if we look at the reference, which is Copia's red cassock, we see how not only is the crucifix on his robes not supposed to be on his robes, but on the belt he wears, but on top of that, the crucifix used there is the wrong one. On the actual belt, the crucifix is the Infestissimum one, not the Opus one. And from there, you might as well just simplify it, which I guess is what they were going for. In terms of fixing the proportions, what I actually did was make the head smaller to actually match the rest of his body. And from there, I actually gave him a neck flap, because I understand the budget for these plushies must be really high considering the materials and, quote-unquote, quality they have. So I'm going to take some liberties and make them something viable for the price range, because they are so stupidly expensive. For the head, I went with more of a squished spherical approach. So the head is more of a sphere with flat ends, and the nose, mouth, eyes, all that is just stitched on rather than being actual bumps on the face, which is much more visually appealing if you ask me. Following this, I made his hands just big old spheres because while I like the approach of somewhat hand-shaped hands with a thumb bump, I also don't like the fact he has no actual fingers and they look like blobs with a thumb, so I'm just gonna leave them as blobs. One final and important distinction is the necklace, which I like how they did, but I'm going to push for that more accurate look and it actually being dangly, which on its own I wouldn't do, but considering the Papa 1 plushie has a Thorable, I think it's viable, and the final result would be this. Next up, we have Papa 4, which I guess if there's one thing you can give Ghost plushies is they sure are damn consistent with their style. That doesn't make it good though. So right off the bat, we got the fact that his paint is the same color as Cardinal Copia's skin, which pisses me off so bad. So first thing we're gonna do is make his skin colored paint white, which is what it's supposed to be. Second of all, I like one thing they did is change his face structure, because canonically, as we know, Papa 4, compared to Cardinal Copia, had face surgery, so his face actually does look different. From there, we can obviously apply everything we did to Cardinal Copia. The eyes, the head shape, the hand blobs. In terms of the outfit, while it is pretty accurate, the one thing I don't like is how they did his straps, because while the pattern is there, it is not accurate at all, so you might as well just not have it there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the outline of the pattern, but remove the innards of it, because I don't think it's worth having the full accurate pattern on a plushie, but I also don't think it's good to half-ass it and try to do it anyway. Another important thing that Papa 4's Year Zero outfit has is a transparent cape, which we should give to the plushie, because as opposed to Cardinal Copia, his accessory being his straps is actually quite boring, considering that they're printed on really shitty stretchable paper. And actually, as a matter of fact, as you can see in my illustration, the back of the straps is just white, which is really embarrassing. So we're gonna give him the cape, and for the Carnetta, we are actually gonna more or less leave it the same, just make the corners a bit sharper. And actually, for what it's worth, the paint is reasonably accurate, just that his hair being black kinda ruins it. So we're gonna do the same thing, but now with the white paint, it'll look a lot better. We're gonna keep the paint pattern and give him the edge of the skull paint. And the only other thing we're gonna change is make his nose bigger, because while my style is really limited in how I'm doing these, one thing we can do to show the surgery he had is make his nose bigger, which is one of the things he himself points out. The final result would be this. In terms of Papa 1, there's actually one really big positive the original plush has, and that's that comparatively, if you put the plushie and Papa 1's mask and paint side by side, it's actually the most accurate and looks the most like him. But obviously now that we've changed the style of plush, this kinda gets fucked over, so we gotta rework that. Another positive the plush has is the material for the robes and mitre. It's actually really good. But there are also some negatives. First of all, the goddamn brown eye. They finally made an actual eye color, his other eye color. But they made it brown. Tobias Forge does not have brown eyes. I'm going to scream. Anyhow, that's obviously something to fix. Another thing to fix is his mitre uses the wrong color crucifix, which isn't that annoying when you get used to it, but on a first, stare, you will definitely notice it. For what it's worth, this plush is probably the highest quality and most accurate one, so All we really have to do is to transfer it in our new style of plush. I will be keeping the Thurible accessory, but in an ideal world, I would make it magnetic rather than it being sewn onto his hand. I'm also going to opt for making the robes less thick and actually like robes, because at the moment they're just flaps that fall onto his body, which isn't awfully accurate, but even though it works for the plush, we're going to try push it to make it that much more accurate. Additionally, ideally, the plush's miter, like the original plush miter, is not bad. It's just every single plush, including mine and all I've seen online, are sewn on so horribly that they are permanently folded and bent because of how they're sewn on, which is really unfortunate. A single other point of argument is the back of Papawan's robes, because the actual costume, from what I can tell in photos online, didn't have the same design as the front. It just didn't have a design at all, which in my opinion, what the plushie did of just mirroring it looks way better, but what we want here is accuracy, so we're just gonna get rid of it. The final result would be this. These are the final plushies. As said, if this video gets any popular, I will make more. Or if I just buy more plushies, I'll find time to make another one of these. But for now, that's it from me. Adieu and stay Satanized.
Subscribe, damn it! I'll be back. I always come back, and so should you moron.